All right, welcome back to the channel. All right, Terence Crawford was spotted at the weigh-in for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and he ran into Kell-Brook. He, from what I understand, told Kell-Brook, make it to 147, you have a fight. Now, I listened to several videos that I listen to, people that I listen to. Not some people are not the biggest fans of me, obviously. But I listen to what they say. And this particular circumstance, I want to actually, without addressing the specific person or people, I want to make the case for why criticizing Terence Crawford, or at least critiquing him in a way that will lead him to a fight, is good for Terence Crawford, and pretending as if this guy is out there having these bouts that everybody wants to see and that his numbers are not dropping drastically, while that method is not doing any good for Terence Crawford and is definitely not doing any good for boxing, because this guy is one of the best boxers in the world, definitely one of the best guys at welterweight, but his career is not where it should be. He's not providing me as a fan of Terence Crawford with what I want to see. So I'm going to talk about those type of things in this video. You'll want to listen to the end, because this one is going to be a little bit more heated than my videos usually are. All right. Welcome back to the channel. Terence Crawford, my number one pound for pound boxer on the planet, because of what he did at 135, what he did at 140 by unifying the division, and the fact that I do believe skill-wise, talent-wise, ability-wise, that he is one of the best two welterweights that there are on the planet. Okay? That's my thought about Terence Crawford. I am a Terence Crawford. I am a fan, and I appreciate Terence Crawford. But what I am not is I am not a babysitter, okay? I'm not an emotional babysitter. And I'm not going to sit there and say that even though this guy unified at 140 pounds and he did everything that he was supposed to do, that he now does not, that I'm not going to want to see him face anybody but the person that he seems to want to fight only, and that is Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford bout is not going to be made this year. That is an actual fact, okay? And if anybody is saying, well, Bud, well, that should happen, that should happen. If you're talking about what's going to happen in boxing in the year 2020, if that's your stance, you're just crying over spilled milk, because it's not gonna happen. In actuality, it's not going to happen. So since it's not going to happen, I want to see other good boxing matches, because I'm a boxing fan. That is what, as a boxing fan, I like to see. Some boxing matches that I really want to see make me a little bit nervous. And I might not, I don't know if I really want to see this, because I want my guy to win so much. But at the end of the day, hey, that's a boxing match. That is what I like to watch. In football, you want to see the best teams play each other. In basketball, you want to see the best teams play each other. You might have a team that you really like, and you might hope that another team loses so your team doesn't have to play them. But still, overall, you want to see the best players play against the best players, especially if you're neutral between the two. Then you just get a great show and you don't have any emotions wrapped up into it. So that is my stance with Terence Crawford. So when Terence Crawford sees Kell-Brook and tells Kell-Brook, hey, you make 147 pounds, and that means you have a bout. We have a boxing match. We can do this. That sounds good to me. I will take it. Hey man, because it's a good bout. It's better than Aegis Kalvanakis, who nobody ever thought was any good. Okay, Kell-Brook might have lost to Errol Spence Jr. Kell-Brook lost to Gennady Golovkin, but he's still still a good boxer. He's at least somebody that I want to see in the ring with Terence Crawford. If I cannot get the Errol Spence Jr. fight right now, if I cannot get the Sean Porter bout right now, if I cannot get the Yordenis Ugas for the fight for the boxer that I like, Terence Crawford, if I can't get those bouts, I at least want to see him somebody. So there's nothing wrong with me as a boxing fan saying I want to see him fight Kell Brook. I want to see him get in the ring and have a boxing match with Sean Porter. I want to see him have a boxing match with Yordenis Ugas. I'm asking to see him have a boxing match. And I'm not saying just against one person and disrespecting everybody else. I'm saying I want to see him. I want to see that bout. I favor him to win that bout. What's wrong with that? How does that make me how does that make me or anybody else who wants to see that a fanboy of somebody else? Because I want to see Terence Crawford have a fight with somebody when I know that the bout that most people want to see is actually not going to happen. Not going to happen. It is a fruitless endeavor for me to continually say, I want to see Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford have a match with one another. It's completely fruitless because Errol Spence Jr. already said, and he said it last year, what his plan is. He said he was going to do Sean Porter. He was going to go get Manny Pacquiao. And after that, he's going to do Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence had a car accident. So now that might throw it off. He might wind up fighting, having a bout with the IBF mandatory, then going to Manny Pacquiao. Or he goes to, you go to Danny Garcia, then to Manny Pacquiao. That's actually the order. Those are the bouts that are going to be made. Then he said he's going to take on the WBO champion, Terence Crawford. That's what he said. That is what's going to happen. If you want me to keep having conversations strictly about that, you want me to engage in the same fantasy, cry over spilt milk nonsense that you want to do. And I'm not going to do it. So, living in reality, my question remains. I know that I'm going to get these bouts. We got 12 months in a year. 12 months. All 12 months have 4 weeks in them. They got there might be a fifth Saturday in a month by accident, right? But that's how many weeks we have to watch boxing. Weekends, 4 weekends a month times 12. That's how many we got. 48 roughly, is that right? 12 times 4 is 48. So we roughly have 48 Saturdays to watch boxing on. And okay, which ones are, and Terence Crawford's going to take 2 of them. So since Terence Crawford's going to take 2 of them, can I get something I want to see? What is wrong with that? And here's the thing. When people call you a PBC fanboy, that is utter stupidity. And it is just running your lips. That's it. You're just running your lips and picking things to argue about and names to call. If I say I want to see Terence Crawford, follow the logic of this. If me saying I want to see Terence Crawford have a bout with a PBC fighter like Sean Porter, I want to see him have a bout with Sean Porter. I want to see him have a bout with Yordenis Ugas. And if I'm a PBC fanboy because I want to see Terence Crawford fight two PBC fighters, right? Then why wouldn't I be being a PBC fanboy if I want to see him have a bout with Errol Spence Jr.? He's with the PBC too. So since I want to see Terence Crawford fight PBC fighters, and that makes me a PBC fanboy, then I must be a PBC fanboy if I want to see him fight Errol Spence Jr. Or if you want to see him fight Errol Spence Jr., you must be a PBC fanboy. If just by the virtue that they're with the PBC and me wanting to see Terence Crawford fight him makes me a PBC fanboy. In the midst of all this verbose nonsense, at least line your argument up to where if you use those same facts, that same logic and apply them to different facts, that it doesn't sound stupid. How about we try to do that? while we calling names and doing that type of nonsense. Terence Crawford, I believe, is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. That is a fact. It's a fact that I believe that. Second, I want to see Terence Crawford recognized as such because I believe that's what he is. The reason, these are also facts. The reason why Vasily Lomachenko won in 2017, won Fighter of the Year over Terence Crawford out of the mouth of Terence Crawford's trainer was that they said, the Boxing Writers Association of America said it was the level of competition that he faced. Even though he won even though he unified at 140, it was Vasily Lomachenko had a better level of opposition, and that's why they gave him Fighter of the Year, and that's why he's still over Terence Crawford in the pound for pound list, and why Canelo Alvarez on many people's lists are ahead of Terence Crawford on the pound for pound list. Because when you go down those guys, at least for sure Canelo Alvarez, you go down his resume, there are recognized names that people can say those are solid fighters, even if at the time that the Canelo Alvarez faced them, that they might have been older or the decision might have been a little funny. Regardless, their names are on there. He's got Kovalev on there. He's got Gennady Golovkin on there. He's got Shane Mosley on there. He's got Cotto on there. In a loss, he's got Floyd Mayweather Jr. on there. He's got Lara on there. He's got Trout on there. They're on there. Okay, Lomachenko, even though Guillermo Rigondeaux was 2 weight classes below him, he's on there. Terence Crawford doesn't have anybody like those guys that are on there. And that's just a fact. The only really recognizable name that he has on there there's nobody on there like that. Nobody. And I'm saying get one. Sean Porter is that type of guy. Kell Brook is that type of guy. Ordenis Ugas might not be that type of guy, but hey, what's wrong with me for wanting that for Terence Crawford? Because as of right now, Terence Crawford's numbers are plummeting. So what I think I'm doing is it to the extent that I can, is somebody that really does and has consistently rooted for Terence Crawford, wanting him to be where I think he should be, which is the number one pound for pound spot in boxing, and be making mega fights. I was calling for him to fight Manny Pacquiao. I was calling him, man, come on, man. You guys are jokes with this stuff, man. You're in jokes because you don't like Terence Crawford being critiqued. Okay? There's a difference between hating on somebody and critiquing them. And it is what it is. And if you think that the people that have been supporting Terence Crawford for years, verbally and financially, because I've watched all of his I've been one of the 50 people that bought his pay-per-views. I'm one of the 2 million people I was making videos about the Ndongo fight. I've always supported Terence Crawford. But at this point in time, when that Errol Spence Jr. stuff jumped up, it's like, hey, man, you're at welterweight and you fought Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, Jeff Horn, and Igis Kalvanakis. You don't think Boxing Writers Association of America see that? Or anybody else that might not necessarily be looking for a way to compliment Terence Crawford? Man, get out of here. Anyway, it is what it is. Told you this was going to be a little bit of an irritating one. I made the mistake of listening to what some of you clowns got to say, man, but I assure you, your logic is faulty. Highly, highly faulty. Peace.